Hi, I'm Cheryl. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful, I guess you would call it a double Z fold card. You see the two Z's? This is a card that is a little bit of a challenge, but doable. And see how it stands up then? Cute, huh? So let's get started on this, because there's a lot of things to do. So first of all, you're going to need a bunch of different papers. And I'm going to make this one just slightly different than the original card. I've got a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and this is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and then it's scored and folded on either end, either of the from the long sides at 1 3/8 and 2 3/4. I'll have this down below in when I have the list of all the materials that we used. Then I have another little piece here that's 5 1/2 by 1, and then I have a piece of the designer paper from Heartfelt Creations, and this is from the Tropical Paradise collection, and this is let's see, what is this? This is 5 1/8 by 7/8, so it's slightly smaller than the Night of Navy, but you've got about a 1/4 inch on the one side. That won't be covered. Then I have, also from the Paradise collection, I have this panel. I'm going to have flamingos on this card, and this piece here is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then I have these two pieces. I just cut them from the end here. So I have these two pieces, and these will go on the inside of our card here. I have a little different paper on the inside here. You see, so they'll go right here. And these are 1 1/4 by 4 1/8. And I have, we'll need some Whisper White. A piece about 3 1/2 by 4 will be plenty. We'll also have use some So Saffron, and just a little scrap, well, like 3/4 of an inch by 2 inches is plenty. And a piece of wild wasabi. This is 4 1/4 by 5. Actually, it's not. I've already cut part of our die cut out from this, and I'll be doing the other die cut with you. And from the Orchid, Climbing Orchid bundle, we're going to use the dies for the smallest orchid. Okay, so it's the small orchid petals and the little center thing. And then I have 2 little orchids done already. And I'm missing, oh, I had this, that's right, I used the centers. Oh boy. And I'll be using a ball stylus to shape the orchids. And this is, let's see, this ball stylus is, looks like maybe 8 millimeter. Yep, looks like 8 millimeters. If you don't have a ball stylus, you could always use the end of a Sharpie. Actually, I think the cap end works better for me. But whatever you have that you can use, then do that. Go for that. Okay. Then the die I used for that beautiful decorative piece here, I got from AliExpress, and I'll show you. I'll put down below where I got that. And of course this is the Orchid bundle. We're using the, let's see, the stripy Orchid stamps. See, this one and this one, the small ones, or this one and this one, excuse me. And then there's a little bitty thing. Let me get that up there. It kind of almost looks like a little face. We're going to use that stamp too. Let me see. Maybe this works better. Let me see if I can get it in focus. But anyway, it looks like a little kind of little face, and there's like two little dots, and then there's one that's a little bit longer, and that's take note of that because you want that bottom piece facing down, that long piece facing downward. That's the bottom. And oh, I don't have the die set, or the I don't have the thing out, but it's from the Feather Together stamp set. I'm using the Happy Birthday. We've got Tombow glue. That's necessary. I used a little bit of this, the Nuvo Embellishment Mousse, and the color is what the heck is it? Orange Blush. That's kind of optional. You don't have to use that. And I've got these out because this is going to be a wonderful thing when we do that intricate die. I use Crumb Cake and Saffron inks. I'm running out of room to put things out of the way here. And this is the paper from that I'm using. This is the Heartfelt Creations Tropical, and it just has all kinds of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful papers in it. I'll just fan some out here, and it's all double-sided. So you see, you get all these different other designs on the backs, and it's working really well with the it's going really well with the Stampin' Up papers. They're cardstocks. So let's do our third orchid first. We'll get this piece out here, and my Saffron ink, and I'm going to ink up these stamps and just stamp it here on this Whisper White cardstock. And close that up and get rid of that now. And up to the side here I have my Big Shot. I'm just going to put them down here. I'm using the flattest plate that I own. If you've done a lot of die cutting, you know what I'm talking about. You've got one or two plates that are pretty flat, and then you've got some that are really crazy curved. There we go. I'm going to put my dies on, line them up on there like this. This is this is how most of my plates look. I'll just put that over top and run that through my Big Shot and cut those out. Ooh, I got off on that one. That's okay. It'll just look like a little different pattern on it. You know what? Maybe I'm going to just turn that over and see if I can't stamp that on there a little better. I should have probably put a little bit of tape on there. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now I'm working on my silicone mat, and my mat has a little bit of a give to it. If you don't have a mat like mine, then put a little something underneath, like some fun foam or whatever. So I'm just gonna, on the petals, I'm just gonna roll my ball around. I'm in like a glare there. Let me see if I can. There, I'm going to turn my light off. I'm going to turn that light off so it's not glaring there. And I'm just going to roll the ball around, and it's going to cup your, it will cup your petals just a little bit. You see? These are Phalaenopsis orchids, and they don't have, they're not real dimensional. They're almost like a just like a plate. So we'll get those done. Take my Tombow and put a little glue. Okay, now on this one, you see it's got one thing that has a big gap. That's the bottom of the flower. Okay, and then on the one that has 3, you see there's 2 that are like this, then there's another one that goes up this way. So you see it looks different this way. If you hold it like this, it does not look the same. Or like this. You want it so there's 2, and then it's got like 1 sticking up. That one is the sticking up one. That's the top one. I'll put just a little dab of Tombow on there. And place that on the 2 base flowers. Oh, it goes the other way. Ah, poop. I did it backwards. Put a little Tombow on the one with 3. Put your other ones on top. Okay, so now you have something that looks like this. Let me adjust that a little bit. Okay, so we had that one petal that sticks up the top. We have our big gap on the one that has just 2. We have that down the bottom here. And now we can do our little center. If I can find it again. There it is. Let me put the lid on that Tombow. Okay, so we have our little center. And you see one end is smaller. That's the end that goes, that will be facing down. So we'll take our itty bitty stamp that has those three little things on it that I was telling you about. Ink that up with the crumb cake. And then that one little part that's a little longer, more oval shaped, will go down towards the bottom of this little yellow center. And there's what it looks like. I'm trying to get it in focus here. You see? We're going to take our ball stylus again, and we're going to just roll it around on that. Just on the inside, don't go out on the edges, just on the inside. And that will give that just a little bit of a cupping. Put a little dab of Tombow glue on the flower. And place your little center on there. I'm going to give it a little poke with the stylus to make sure it's seated on there. Okay, and then this is what it will look like. Let me get it up here. Okay. Now the other two, I put a little bit of the mousse on it. So we'll keep them all the same. I should say, have a little brush handy. This is a dry aqua painter. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that mousse and just put a little bit of it on there. We add a little orange color. Okay, so I don't know where I'm getting this glare from. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now you can see it. You see the orange? So just around the edges, you put some of that orange. Close up my mousse because that will dry out. And I'm going to clean out my aqua painter because you don't want that to dry in your aqua painter either. It acts much like an acrylic paint and will make it stiff. Okay, so now we'll go on and we'll do our decorative piece here. Now in this sandwich I'm going to add just a piece of cardstock as a shim. Just because it's a more detailed die. Get all that out of here. Let me bring this in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I have my piece of paper, a piece of cardstock, wild wasabi, and we're going to put this edge to the straight edge here. Now it doesn't cut on that edge. And when I bring that, have that in, just these edges here, just like about 1/8 of an inch. And you check on the sides here, make sure you've got that fairly even. And I'm going to put a bit of tape on here. I'm going to put that on out here. This is the paper that is going to be scrapped afterwards. And even though I'm using my magnetic platform, as you saw with my flower, it can shift a little bit. I'm going to put my other plate on top here. And I am using the magnetic platform, by the way. And from what I've heard and read, it's just a little bit thicker than the regular platform that comes with the Big Shot. So let's see how that did. Yeah, we're going to turn it now. We're going to cut all the way. We're going to turn that. We're going to run that through again. And let me check, see how that did. Okay, that looks like everything's going to pop out now. Yeah, that looks good now. I'll take off this part. It has the tape on it. And get this foam mat here and my, I don't know what, I forget what this is called. But I'm going to roll this. This is a wonderful thing. It will take out almost all these pieces, if not all of them. And there's all little dots right around along this edge, so you want to make sure you roll those too. Okay. Yeah, good. It took everything out of my die for me. And then I have this piece here. Shake off these little bits. Oh, there's a couple more. get all those out. It's a pretty lacy dye. There. Oh. There. Now it's all out. Okay. So now you'll do 2 of these. You want 2 of these. We need 2 of those and 3 orchids. Okay, so now we can start putting things together. Oh, nope. You know what I didn't bring out? I didn't bring out my Memento ink. My Tuxedo black. We'll need some Tuxedo black also. Let me do the happy birthday stamp. Wish me luck. Because it's rather a long, big stamp. And I put that all the way to the right hand, almost right to the edge. And then try to center it. One, two, three, and there it is. You see how close to the edge I got here? I'm going to be pretty close to the edge. When I was holding that up, I noticed that I got kind of a fuzzy cut on the edge there. I had cut this out before. I've changed my cutting blade, but I must have cut this before I did that. With a little fuzzy edge. If that happens to you when your blade starts getting old, just take an emery board and you can file the edge off. Okay, so then we'll turn this piece over, put some Tombow glue on the back, and we're going to attach that to the strip of Night of Navy. And that will go just like a 1/16 of an inch in from the end here, and top and bottom. And then you'll have a little extra over here. Okay, so that piece is ready. So let's start on the inside of the card. You open that out. And this large panel will go in the center here. And put some glue on there. And center that piece on the back here. You'll be using your score lines here as a guide to line that up, as well as on the top and the bottom. And we just have a little bit of that Night of Navy showing around the edge. Then we're going to put our side pieces on. I want the one, yep, that's the one. Because I cut these, see, I cut these out. Oh, nope, this is the one. I cut these out like this. So I wanted this one, because that's a continuation of that, to go there, and I'll put this one over on this side. So put some Tombow glue on that one. You don't have to do that. You know, on my sample card, I just use a different designer paper that I thought went pretty nicely with it, and use that. You see, then this looks like a continuation. And put this one on this side. Yep. Put it right side up, though. That would be nice. And we just center that between the score lines and top to bottom. Okay, so then when you open your card up, you can see this beautiful scene inside with the flamingos and all the foliage. Next, we'll attach the happy birthday. We want that right in the middle. and we'll attach that on the left hand side piece. The right hand side does not get attached to anything. It just sticks out there. So I'm gonna put some Tombow glue on there, but only on the end. You see, because it's just going to go on there. Let me wipe a little bit of that off, as a matter of fact. I'm going to center that right here. So it's going to go right to the edge of the card. But it's going to be centered top to bottom. You can see, we're getting there. We're getting there. Then we take our little lacy bits. Turn those over. Put some Tombow glue all down this nice edge here. It's nice and solid. Gives us lots of place to put glue. And then just a little bit on the leaves here that are close to the edge. Don't go all the way out, because the whole thing is not going to be attached. Okay. Then we're going to put these one piece on each side. This will go over top of everything. And we'll do the same on this side. And that goes right to the edge. Don't want any navy showing on the edge here. Okay. Now we're ready to put our flowers on. I have my 3 orchids. I'm going to put one right here. And I'm going to put one up here. And we're going to tilt them a little bit. And this one will tilt the other way. And then down on the bottom here, you need to know where your happy birthday banner is going to go. So down on the bottom here, I'm going to put the 3rd orchid. All right, and there we go. That's our card. Let me see if I can pick that up a little bit. And you can see it closes up real nice. It will fit into a A2 size card. There's not a lot of dimension. You may be able to slip this into a card, and then when they get it, then they can open it up and have a little scene here. Let's see. You've got your little flamingos in the background and lots of tropical foliage. So, I hope you've liked my video, and if you have, then please hit the like button down below. I always like to see that. If you have any questions or comments, then be sure to leave those down below also. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then hit the subscribe button, and then they'll pop up new videos on your YouTube as I post them. And if you'd like to purchase any of the Stampin' Up materials that I've shown you today, then you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. And as a matter of fact, you might be interested in looking at my Facebook page, because I do post a lot of I'll put all the cards as I upload them to YouTube. I post those on my Facebook page, as well as things that are going on with Stampin' Up, things that I think you might find interesting. Sometimes if I find a website that has certain products that are a good price, I'll put that information there. Pictures of my craft room assistants at times go on there. Which, if you haven't watched my videos before, I have a dog, and I have one ginormous orange tiger cat, and then I just adopted two stray kittens that are well, I've taken to calling them Thing 1 and Thing 2. If you know Dr. Seuss, then you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, so you might find my Facebook page interesting. And as always, I'll have all the materials and tools that I used today. I'll have them listed down below. So y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.